And we're live. Welcome to another episode of Easy Sports. And today I'm joined by the Jets. I'm joined by Shavar, Cheese underscore 55, and improved Red Devils. What's up, Jets?
Man United is faithful. How's it?
I know.
We are
We
here.
good. We here. We here. We still smiling. Yeah. I don't know where to start. I think let's start off with other teams and end with United because hey, we're gonna take up a full hour speaking on United. You
I think
know,
let's start with the first game of the season
yeah,
and Shavar's defense. I think he's got a lot of of
yeah,
thoughts in that regard.
yeah.
Um, I don't have any issues with my defense. Well,
What
I
do you
have
have issues with?
I have
Mm.
issues with the tactic of both fullbacks pushing up simultaneously. I'm getting a terrible echo from someone.
Let
I
me
don't know
see.
who.
There's the echo. It just arrived.
Yeah, that's probably why. That's
Wow,
probably
wow,
why.
wow,
As soon
wow,
as he
wow,
arrives,
wow,
now the
wow,
echo's gone. He just wanted to make
wow,
a
wow,
an
wow. Can you guys hear
entrance.
me?
An
Ngubane?
entrance.
No, we can't hear you, Ngubane.
I'm glad. Sorry, guys. What were you saying? Man United
Ah,
useless, Liverpool
How was the
better.
play?
I
How
don't
was
know.
the play? How was the play?
You know when our president speaks of we need to have a dialogue as a nation. I feel I was watching that today. Sorry, I don't want to go deep. But I was watching kids having a dialogue that adults should be having. But anyway,
mm-hmm.
um, mm,
Ah,
yeah. Mm,
yeah. All
mm.
right,
Well,
Shiva. Yeah,
speaking
Shiva,
of
you were.
dialogues that adults should
Yeah.
be having, I think someone needs to sit our fullbacks down and tell them that both of them at the same time cannot push up and play like wingers. That led to our midfield opening up, and it led to our defense being exposed, and that was actually the issue with both goals. Um, Losing the ball freely in midfield. I think both times it was actually Soboslai, who is meant to be the more one of the deep lying two rather than getting ahead of play. He gives the ball, he loses the ball. Both our fullbacks are up. Both our midfielders, our deep lying midfielders, are not protecting, and it's a straight run at our centre halves. Um, so I
But
think we will solve this.
your center halves also didn't cover themselves in glory, if you're being honest.
Well, the
I think it's a
one
Yeah.
didn't.
conversation. It's a
The
conversation
one
that no
didn't.
one is willing to have because Van Dijk is allowed to get away with a lot of things. I won't say the word that is hit starting with S. The second goal, he literally parted like Moses was parting the Red Sea. It's weird, and I've seen him throughout the off season doing that quite a bit, where he's not in the game, but
No,
you guys just
it,
allow him to get away with shit.
it's jockey
Mm.
running. I mean, I feel like in FIFA I use the exact same tactic. And as well, remember Semenyo is ambidextrous. You don't know if he's gonna hit you with his left or right. So
Yeah,
that's also another
Yeah.
thing
it's
that
like
makes him
Dembele
tough.
hitting that pen where you never know.
Yeah, yeah,
Here's
yeah,
the
yeah.
thing, though, why I don't exactly agree with that. I'm still getting a terrible echo, guys.
Yeah,
Is it
And
me?
someone
Is
is
Yeah.
it my the echo?
someone is watching the episode as we speak.
yeah, no, it's
No,
fine.
Now it's good.
Cool.
that's
Go
much
Shiva.
better.
Yeah, so what I was saying was that still image looks a lot worse than it actually is. If you watch the actual build up to that goal, you'll see that Konate should actually be the one looking to make the tackle there. Instead of, I don't know what Konate was doing. I don't know why he was completely out of shot there. He and I have said this. He does have a stinker in him, and I'm glad he's got
Mhm.
it out the way, because we do have a long season ahead of us, and we really need him to step up. I think we will sort it out, so I'm not too concerned. This is the first real competitive game that these two fullbacks have played
Mm.
with each other, so I'm sure they'll come to an understanding, and we will get Gravenberg
Wait,
back.
sorry,
He was suspended.
sorry,
Um,
sorry.
Mm.
This is the first game that these fullbacks have with each other.
Competitive game. Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
it is. It is the first.
So look, Shaba, I think I actually want to come in here and I want to back up Ngubane in that statement. It looks like Van Dijk is being allowed to get away with murder. Most of the talk that I'm hearing from Liverpool supporters is that blame is being solely placed at Konate's feet. And that's about
Thank you.
all you're hearing. Konate's had a stinker. He's not performing. He's not up to spec. He's not up to speed.
Mm.
I'm of the opinion that Van Dijk, yes, is one of the Premier League's best that we've ever had in that position, but he is falling off, and that's one of the things that you guys need to come to realization is that he's not the same player that he was about 2 or 3 years, 3 seasons ago.
No
Um,
one wants to speak
you
about the
guys,
game that he had at Palace.
yeah.
He had
So
a stinker, but no one is saying that, oh, he had a stinker. Now, Konate all of a sudden had a stinker in this game. And if you watch that the second goal, this boy literally is going straight through, and he's not like trying to dribble or
mm,
anything. He's literally coming straight through. And what does Van Dijk do? He chases the runner. And in
100%.
him chasing the runner, he leaves like space open. And I'm watching this and I'm thinking to myself, I wonder how Shivar is going to defend this. And Shivar goes and passes it on to the next person. Does oh no, it's Konati who had a stinker. No,
Or
no,
are we
Shivar.
blaming the fullbacks pushing up too far in this instance, Shavaz?
So
And that's why
okay,
Virgin had to
first
do the run
I've got
across.
I've got an opinion
firstly,
also on
firstly,
your
I'm not. I didn't start with Konate. I started with the fullbacks because that was something that I picked up early on in that game. I don't like when both of them go up at the same time. It's fine if one goes and the other like is supporting, but both of them are playing like wingers and hugging the touchline, and that is leaving us exposed. That's where I started. My
But you should be,
second point was
But didn't you play like that last
midfield.
season?
yeah,
Not
exactly.
both.
With
Not
Trent
both.
pushing up all the time,
Trent,
you always
Trent
had.
came inside. He didn't go out wide. He wasn't hugging the touchline.
Mm.
He came
But the
inside
thing
and he
is,
was playing sort of like a
Trent was
six.
never a defender. Trent is not a defender, so you were playing with three people at the back at all times.
And now we're playing with two people at the back and no midfield in front of
well,
them.
no, you're playing with one person by the looks of it, because
Nguban is just after Van Dijk for some reason. Look,
no, I think no,
he
no.
didn't have a good community
He's
shield. I
he's doing this, and everyone is oblivious to that because
don't think
he's
anyone
had
is
brilliant.
oblivious to that.
I feel as if when we talk about defenders and we talk about the goats of defending, I'm sorry, Van Dijk does not fall in that conversation. He can
You
never
know,
fall into the conversation. Van
but
Dijk is a
gents,
good defender, but he's not on John Terry's level. He's not
I
on
th- I think
Saul
it's a
What I
Campbell's
will
level.
generational.
point
It's a
out
And
though,
you are
hold on, Shivar. I think it's a generational thing. There was a point where defending was an art, and the Italians taught us how to do it. That art has slowly deteriorated, slowly but surely. And whoever comes up and is an okay defender, we rate them as, oh, they are brilliant. Because now defenders
yeah,
have been asked to play
he's
number 10 role where they can pass those intricate passes, they can pin those passes
Long
long.
diagonals.
So they don't do the basics, which is defending. And when we
yeah, he's
ask
a good
Van Dijk
defender.
to do
Don't
the
get me wrong, he's a good
basics of
defender.
defending, where we go one on one, he doesn't. What he does, he follows the runner. And
Mm.
they will always tell you when you defend, look at the ball, look at the whoever has the ball. Forget the runner. The runner is going to be there either way. All you have to do is
so
focus on.
Ngwane, I mean, I play center back, and it is a thing that I came after a while. After I thought I lost a lot of my speed when I was playing in
I
midfield.
was
So
about to say, with father time caught up with you, and you become slower,
yeah,
and then they chuck you at the back.
I became slower, and I became a very good ball playing center back. Right now, one thing in that situation, and in Van Dijk's defense, it was a transition. It was a transition ball. So they got the ball on the counter, and a lot of teams. Singoban, I can't even name one center back of yours who would have stopped that counter attack, right? And
you
it's
can't even
I
name
don't
one
have
centre back
those.
of his full
No,
stop.
no, I don't have those.
no, honestly, that's how good Semenyo is. Semenyo can go
Yeah,
either left or right, and he gives you
yeah.
that doubt in your mind. The one thing, of course, that is always going to be Van Dijk's crux is that he doesn't want to make the tackle so that he gets dribbled past and he gets exposed. And it seems like a myth, Shiva. It seems like a myth.
Yeah.
But then yesterday he blatantly proved that. He could have went
Thank
and closed down the
you.
ball, yes.
Yeah.
If
Hmm.
and but I'm not saying you're wrong, right? He could have went and closed down that ball, and they beat him. Semenyo beats me, it's fine. Everyone
Yeah.
says Van Dijk they beat me, but because he's Van Dijk, he doesn't want that He doesn't want that on his
That
record, right?
1v1,
So
that
So
he struggles with
someone
he,
beat me.
1v1.
he wants to
But
jockey
but again,
he wants to jockey the attacker to the side of the pitch, and again, sometimes you just need to go in for that tackle, gents.
I
but
disagree
Agree.
with that.
but also
I disagree with that. I'm
also
sorry. No,
ju-
I
just
completely
to
disagree
final
with that.
this
It
just the
depends
final
on the
point,
position that you're
Shiva.
playing. If you are a
Yeah.
fullback or a defensive midfielder, you go and make that tackle. If you are a centre back and you are the last man, you do not go and make that tackle. You do exactly that. You jockey them away. You try to hold up play and get support around you. No
There's a
centre
game.
back, aside
There's a
from Sergio
game.
Ramos, goes and
Okay.
makes that tackle
There's a
without
game.
someone covering him.
There's a
But
game
it's
where Messi took on that German kid. What's his name? Fuck, I forgot his
Boateng.
name
Boateng.
Oh,
now.
Boateng.
Boateng.
No, but Messi,
Thank you. And
Messi's
then
different, guys.
everyone.
But
Hold
Messi
on,
would
hold on.
chow anyone, dog. Even
So my
Maldini would
point,
get chowed.
my point is this. I
Yeah.
knew the game. I just said there was this game where there was a center back, and everyone had an understanding of what I'm talking about. That as a defender, there's that moment where you have to expose yourself and go for the tackle. Sure, fine. Messi, different breed. He literally
Yeah.
killed that boy, and he went down that whole
Hey,
tunnel that no one
spun him
knows
like a
of.
Beyblade,
But
dog.
but but Virgil refuses to do that.
I completely
Virgil,
disagree. You
But
do not you do not commit if there's no one covering you. You do not
well,
commit if there's no
Shiva,
one
so
covering you.
so
I
rather
think
so rather
End of
him run
story.
away, rather him run away and literally just allow the opponent. There you
yeah,
go.
Because
yeah, like
what
Shiva,
he needed to do
the
was
problem
exactly
is
what he did. Drop off, make sure the runner couldn't become a
no
threat,
Shiva,
and then
no
Konate goes and presses. But
no
Konate
Shiva,
was
no
I
Shiva,
don't know what Konate was doing.
I feel
I
for
have no
Konate.
no
defense
I
there.
think
Shiva,
that's why
no
he doesn't want to
Also,
sign his contract.
no Shiva,
also,
no Shiva,
also,
Shiva,
the
Shiva,
midfielders
Shiva.
that we
He's
had were a bit slow in getting back.
no, but Shiva, look, I understand when you say he's trying to close so that the guy doesn't get the shot. Van Dijk moved away from the line of the shot. We all saw him move away from the line of the shot. We're not saying, like, we all understand the jockey. I 100% agree with you. You need to jockey until you have enough time to get some support. Yes, your midfielders are wrong, which is what I spoke about earlier in the group when I said without Gravenberch in Liverpool's team, he's probably the one player who's one of the most important in that team
Yep.
with the way your fullbacks play. So
Mm.
so if Van Dijk moves away and he moves away from the line of shot, he's looking straight at the keeper to shoot. And Semenyo's not going to miss. I think I was seeing him in preseason when he was
Oof.
training with those weights on his whole body,
On his
and
ankles.
he was
Yeah,
smashing
I
them.
think that's the
Um,
main reason
Yeah,
I
I
had
will
him on
take
my
that
side.
point, Cheese, that he
mm,
should he did sort of angle himself away and give
mm.
Konate a gap. He should not have done that.
What's
But
the
this
difference?
thing that
What's
Unguban
the
is trying
difference?
to
Okay,
pass off
hold on. What's the difference between angling yourself away and running away from danger?
because
No,
those
no,
are
no.
two completely different
What
things.
Shiva's saying, Gubane, is that he's trying to close off the runner. I mean, I understand what Van Dijk was trying to do. He was trying to block the pass to the runner to force Semenyo to go straight and someone to cover that space that he's going to leave open. But that didn't happen because Konate is
That
thinking
didn't
about
happen.
So
Madrid.
cheese.
Konate is thinking
I
about
get it
Madrid,
that
so he's not
we
thinking
at that.
about that.
Yeah, I
Mm,
get it that we're at that transitional stage where it's too late. We haven't really reset defense wise because we had the ball up front. I get that. So it's one of those things, and I understand. It's either you do it or you don't do it. Either way, you are fucked. I do feel Van Dijk could have defended the situation a bit better.
yeah.
That's just
He
my
could
two
have.
He
cents.
could have
I
done
will not
better. I'm, I'm
deny
not
it.
I'm
We're
not
not denying
denying
it.
that I'm not saying he was absolutely perfect there. But
Passing on the blame, because at any point I don't recall you at any point giving responsibility that he actually ran away from danger. He went right ahead and said, "Oh, I'll stick with this guy here," and he assumed that, "Oh, I've got cover." This I never looked at if he does have cover. And then when you look at the still shot, you can see clearly that he is literally running with the runner, closing the
yeah,
channel.
he actually did have
he,
cover at the point that he changed direction. Him and
It
Konate
doesn't
both
him
moved in
having
opposite directions at the same
him
point. So
closing
Ngubane,
him
you're
Yeah.
covering
hold on,
hold
hold on.
on him closing off the runner doesn't really help the situation
mm,
because
It
you've got a
does
person who
because
scored a
then
goal.
it avoids him closing off the runner, stops Semenyo from playing a simple sideways pass and leaving
Him
the runner one on one with the goalkeeper.
I'm not
That's
critiquing
what
Musa,
him
but I can tell you
closing
now
off the
that
runner does.
Semenyo went in and scored the goal.
He did, and that is because of two reasons. The first reason is, well, three reasons, but I'm tired of speaking about that midfield. The first reason is because Konate was, I don't know what he was doing, and the second reason
Immature.
was baby. The second reason was because Van Dijk did angle himself incorrectly there. You can cover the runner as well as sort of not force, but slow Semenyo down. He didn't.
Yeah.
He pushed he committed to the runner, and maybe he committed a little bit too early to the runner. Maybe he could have held
I
his
think
ground a little
also,
bit longer.
I think also, and I'm sorry to say this, at some point, your middle must take the yellow of disrupting play.
Yeah, no, that I agree with.
Yeah,
That I completely agree with.
yeah.
Completely
Yeah,
agree.
100%.
In
but the
that break,
positives.
though, I don't think they were ever close enough
They
to
all ran
Semenyo to
away.
even
Yeah,
take a
they all
yellow.
ran away.
But there, I'm completely with you. Completely with you.
Which is why I think your Argentinian boy is too much of a ball player. If your Argentinian boy moves to Man United, he would play a bit forward more than he would play that backward proper number six role.
Who's
That's
that?
just my 2
He's
cents.
He's good at
Uh,
dictating the game from there, but the
McAllister.
problem is, yeah, the
To
problem
United?
is if he doesn't have someone
Yeah,
with legs next to
yeah,
him, he can't
if you had
cover
to
that
move
ground.
it, if you
yeah.
had to move him to United, he would
He's
play
way
like
too
a bit
good for
more up
He
United.
would
front.
never play. He would
No,
never be able to play in that United system.
you don't have to.
Yeah.
He just, I was
McAllister would
using
never be able
United
to
as
play.
Even when he
Ah, he
was at
wouldn't.
Brighton, he wasn't
Sure.
finishing 15th. Now you want to put him at United.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a
And
quick
that's his
question
strength.
there. Yeah, okay. I just wanted to ask you, Shiva. I saw Ekatike play. Do you think you need Isak?
Yes, I think I need Isak.
Oh my god.
But I am
Ah,
Because Van Dijk
so
is there.
impressed with Eki TK. Like, of all of our signings, he's probably been my favorite one so far. He's got the touch, he's got a bit of swagger, he's got a lot of pace for someone that tall as well.
Yeah.
And okay,
yeah,
yes, his goal did have a little bit of a lucky ricochet there. But after that, the way he takes it down and the way he picks his spot and slots it in, he doesn't panic. That was
yeah.
just that's what I want to see from a number 9.
I was
Even
having
the
Um,
a
assist.
I was
So
having an argument around it was a more conversation around we need to get these new players these new players that have come into the league, you need to give them time. And my argument was that you don't give time for first touch. Like first touch is
Yeah.
it. Like
Mm.
literally if you can't trap the ball, like stop the ball and then you can worry about everything else. If you can't do that, it means you can't play. Because unfortunately, football is about buying time. That's when you're going forward. Because you look at Zidane, his greatest attribute was he could slow down time, as in Zidane wasn't the fastest of players, but he has that ability of like slowing it down to his pace, and everyone faster players than him have to conform to what he wants them to do. And with these new strikers, these new two strikers, I think we'll speak on if we haven't spoken on, they don't have that first touch, and it's worrisome. But anyway, the Man United and Arsenal
So,
have gone and spent their money.
So I think
Man
just
United and
Siobhan,
Arsenal.
in one sentence, can I ask a quick question? In one sentence, like
He's
doesn't
coming
too
for me
long.
because I said I
In
wanted Isak.
30 seconds, 30 seconds or less. If you look at your team, why would you still need to add an Isak?
Games.
We're short on attack. We only have 4 attackers. Literally, the 4 players that scored are the 4 attackers that we have, and we play with 3
Oh,
attackers.
the
at
4 players that scored.
So it
So
doesn't
we only
have
have 4
to
people
be.
looking up front.
It doesn't have to be Isak, especially at 150. I think 150 is a bit much, but we need one more centre back and we need one more attacker
so
because we cannot compete with the likes of City across 4 fronts with 4 attackers.
You can
so
have
I think
Ganacho.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I said attacker. You can. It's fine.
Yeah,
I'll
so
take my
Shiva,
chances with the 4.
Shiva, I'd like you to touch on Florian. The man had an amazing preseason, and he disappeared in the first competitive game of the season. I mean, you
Disappeared
guys
in
He
five
started
minutes.
disappeared.
picking.
That's a bit harsh.
No, it's
Mm,
not.
Disappeared is
Are we
guys.
bashing?
Hold on,
That's
hold
Are
on,
we
quite
just
term.
bashing
hold
Liverpool
on.
today? I just want to
I
know
think I,
mentally, are
I
we just
I just
bashing Liverpool
for
or
the
are we ready
people
to?
for the people that are watching, I just want to point out that we won this game and we also
Yeah,
scored 4 goals,
yeah,
right? Just
yeah.
for
right.
People
context.
said
Like
Liverpool
these
did.
guys who haven't won their games are coming at us
It's
and they
crazy.
scored no goals
Yeah,
and they're
we
coming at
finished
a team
15th.
that
We
scored
finished
four
15th in the
goals,
No,
league.
no, no. They
So
had
but
one
yeah,
shot on
yeah,
target.
But
Though.
remember, but
one
remember
shot
the
on target. But
remember the,
but
the quality of
anyway,
opposition.
yeah,
Remember the quality of
anyway,
opposition that other teams played. The
yeah,
quality of opposition that other teams played.
did you score any
No,
goals
no.
this weekend?
Just
Bournemouth,
remember that.
Bournemouth,
No,
Bournemouth is higher than Man
They
United,
did.
dude.
That's
Bournemouth
also
is higher
true.
than Man
That's
United in
also
the
true.
league.
yeah.
Anyway, I'm just
Completely.
Verts. He
Yeah.
wasn't quiet. He did get on the ball quite a lot. He did try to dictate play. A lot of the stuff that he tried didn't come off. I will give you that. But again, it's his first game. I'm not getting on him. It's not like he gave away possession cheaply or he couldn't take a first touch. No, he controlled the ball, he progressed it well. He didn't have an assist or he didn't have a goal. Other than that, I'm okay with his performance. It will get better
you're
and
very
it
close.
has
You're
to
very
get
close.
better,
You're very
but
close to
So,
I'm
saying
not
that he's bang average, of which he was.
no,
For
so,
the
so
amount of money
here's
that
my
you
take.
paid for a bang average player.
Here's my take, right, Mubana. I have a different take,
Like,
right? And
sorry, guys.
again,
Also,
it
real
goes
quick,
back
cheese.
to it goes back to the base, right? Vets didn't have a good base in this game against um Bournemouth, right? A good defensive base as a number 10 or an advanced number 8 gives you a bit more freedom to play. And I think that's the same thing that Cole Palmer has at Chelsea, right? If you have two guys or one guy at least, because I don't think McAllister and Zoboslai are really want to sit
Yeah.
and cover. So it does make your job a lot because now you have to help those two guys who aren't really defensive minded, and you also have to be the one who's the creative momentum going forward in a game where you score 4 goals, yes, because all the other guys scored, you're gonna want to be like, oh no, but yeah, you out of all these guys who scored, you didn't score. Why didn't you score? But I think that's the wrong way to look at it. I think first game vibes, yes, not everyone is Tijani Reinders, I understand, but
Yeah.
it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Cheese, look, I want to interject with that point that you've just made in terms of the pace that he needs to have here, because what we're now showing is there's a resilience on Gravenberch being in his team for Liverpool to function. We've mentioned about Liverpool being a unit and playing together as a team in past shows, and that they are gelling and moving forward as a team. Now we're saying in the first game of the season, we have a reliance on a single player because the other two competent holding mids or sixes that should be in the team is not doing that job. It baffles me because it goes back to United. Our argument here
hold on.
goes
Hold on,
that
hold on, hold on, hold on.
right.
Nothing Everything you said before you said but is true,
Mm,
and no one is saying we're entirely dependent on Gravenberch. We
Yeah, I didn't
won
say
that
that.
game. We scored 4 goals. When
I
was the
understand.
last time your team scored 4 goals?
You see,
Also,
my
on that,
Right.
on that, it's not we are reliant on him. It is we
yeah.
are a better team with him
Mm,
in it.
Yeah,
Those are the
yeah.
Ex-
It's the
completely
yeah.
same thing
different
with
things.
Rodri.
yeah.
It's the same thing with Rodri.
I,
I'm not
I would,
Thank
I
you.
saying
would,
like
I would, I would
like we
argue
won
No,
our
this.
game 4
no,
0
Sorry?
It's
no,
not to say
no.
it's not to say that last season we didn't have Rodri and we really struggled. Yes, you win your games, the games where you're going to
Mhm.
win, but there are games,
If we're
really
using
important
Rodri,
moments where you need
if
important players
we
to be in
if
those
we
positions.
if we're using Rodri as a baseline, then you're completely wrong because you've just said Uti, the player makes you better.
Mm.
But
No, no,
Rodri
we
doesn't
went a
make you
whole
better.
season without Rodri.
Yeah, but like
We've
he
learned
doesn't
how
make you
to
better.
adapt.
He makes you tick. He makes you who you are.
No, no, he makes us better. Rodri makes us
No,
better.
if you're better, so if a player makes you better, that means that
Ngubane,
the squad is
Does Cole
good.
Palmer make you guys
Oh, hold
better?
on. Oh,
Does
no,
Cole
no,
Palmer make you
Ngubani,
he
guys
didn't
is
better?
the
City
heart.
finish above you last season
No,
without
no,
Rodri?
that's what I'm
Yeah.
Like,
saying.
guys,
I
Mm,
think you
it's
guys are missing the point.
literally
Hold
that
on.
simple.
yeah.
We're not saying you take this one player out of our team and now we're a bad team. We're saying the standard between Liverpool and City has been so high over the last I don't know
I'm
how
glad.
many years that
I'm glad.
when it drops a little bit due to one player being missing, then it looks really bad. But it only looks bad next to City, or it only looks bad next to Liverpool. Against the rest of the league, those two teams are still ahead. Arsenal has come in recently and finished second a couple of times in a row,
Fuck
but no
Arsenal.
one has
I'm
ever
glad.
felt threatened that Arsenal were going to win the league.
No,
Yeah.
I'm glad you used Palmer as an example. Palmer hasn't scored a goal in open play since Jan. Okay, he contributes to the team. He is
What
what
do you mean?
Chelsea
Yes?
should
Are you
be.
talking about the Premier League or are you talking about
Yeah,
in
I'm talking
general?
about the Premier League. He hasn't scored an open play in thingy in since Jan. It was a
Yo.
game against Brighton.
Mm.
If you
Oh,
do,
wow.
Well, he scored
but
4.
anyway,
No,
so
my question was simple. Does he
Rodri
make
does
you
not
guys?
hold on.
Does Cole Palmer make you
Rodri
guys
does
better,
not make
Ngoban?
you better. Because if he did, it meant that you were good. You weren't good. You were bap without Rodri.
And he
My
finished
point.
above you
We
My
without
finished
point.
above.
Rodri.
No, rightfully so. We were in a rebuilding
So
process. That don't get me twisted. Like we were. Hey, Baba.
even yesterday you were in the building process.
Oh, are we talking about yesterday's game now?
No, I'm just asking in general because
No. If you
We
segue
can
to
segue. Let's segue,
Yeah.
guys, because it's 26 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what
Let's
are we
go.
segueing to?
So,
Chelsea.
so I think let's
can,
no, actually
can you
let's keep
answer my
Chelsea and
question
United
first?
for the end of this
Can,
this round, gents.
before I let go, Jens, can you answer my question? Does Cole Palmer make you guys play better or not? It's a yes or no question. He doesn't make you guys play better, or he does make you guys play better.
I'm no
Ngoban.
lawyer, but I
How
can tell you this: for someone to make us be
Why
better, it means
can't you
we're
just
good.
answer the
Hold
question, Jens?
on, I'm using your English against you.
It's
I'm saying
you made three analogies since I've asked this question. You haven't answered. You made three.
this is me. This is the final one. For someone to make us better, it means that we were good. We weren't good. It ends there.
I see the
No, that
end.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Even
it
if you're
does.
getting relegated, the player makes you better.
You
Yeah.
will
What
get
about you
relegated.
being
No,
like
you will get relegated without Isak.
Trappa
But
van
anyway,
vergeleken? Trappa van vergeleken
Yeah.
doesn't suggest that you were good, therefore you get better,
Yeah.
or you were, even if you're bad, just being better. Does, even
Yeah.
at your worst, does a player like Cole Palmer make you better?
Yeah, he does. Let's be
It's
for
a yes
real.
or no question.
Yeah. It's
Thank
like
you.
same
I
thing.
understand
It's like
I understand
yeah.
the
I
play
I
traumatized you
I
earlier
plead the
today,
fifth,
but
Your Honor.
please, bro.
Whoever Your Honor is watching this, I plead the fifth.
Trappa van vergeleken.
Yeah.
so
Who
Yeah.
better best?
Let's move over to Newcastle because it'll be very quick. It'll be like a minute. So we saw we saw your team, Ilanga. What dog? Ilanga had the chance, dog. And I knew he was gonna miss.
Two
Like, you know
minutes.
yeah,
what?
2 minutes. Two
I
minutes into the
knew.
game.
I knew because he was on his right foot.
You
I'm like, he's gonna
should have
miss.
buried
He's
that.
on his right foot. You
You
can
should have
go,
buried
bro.
that. Look,
Yeah.
I think we there was a lot. There's been a lot of build up to that game. I think Villa are still a very, very decent side.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, we were lucky to get the draw. I think I would have taken the draw before the game. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would have taken the draw. I would have preferred at least a score draw, but keep it tight with all that's happening in the background. A 0-0 against a Villa is a good result. And they've had us at Villa Park over the past few years. So this is probably our best result at Villa Park.
But you saw how
So
shit
yeah.
Villa were, by the way.
so
Yeah, I mean
so
that's fine. It's early doors, it's opening game. There's a lot of stuff that's happening in the background. Anthony Gordon is not the guy who plays number 9. He's not the guy. We
No,
know
He
he's
that.
never
almost
been
scored,
the
so
guy.
so
Yeah. He struggled
and he
last
does a
season as
decent
well.
job at number 9. And I'm not
so
just saying that because I want Isak. I hated this kid because he came from Everton, but
yeah.
he's a better player than
Shabazz
people
always
give him
gonna say
credit
that.
for.
So
No,
all
100%. But that's not his position.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
odds,
But even
but
though that's not his position, he still does a job for you there.
Hmm.
so
Like
I
you're
so
think
not.
there's a
odds,
bit
I
of
think
But
instinct that's
the
missing from him being in
the
that position.
the conversation that you don't want to have is your next 3 games, because you got away with murder
Hard ass.
over the weekend. Hold on. So your
Hard
next
ass.
three
Hard
games,
ass.
hold on. You are playing Liverpool. You're playing
Yes.
who else? You're playing Leeds.
Haven't you?
And
Yeah.
then you are playing Wolves. Out of the 9 points, how confident are you that you walk away with the 9 points?
We don't walk away with 9 points. Probably Liverpool at home. We could maybe get away with another 0-0, a very very poor draw. But obviously,
You
I
might
think
just get
the
you might
center of
just
that
get the
whole game,
point.
yeah, the center of that whole game is going to be around Isak. From start to finish, it's going to be an Isak conversation. Wolves and Leeds, yeah, we can get away with 6 points. So out of the nine, maybe we do get six.
Who
We
scores?
get actually sorry.
Because Harvey Barnes
Who
doesn't.
scores? Harvey Barnes coming from deep can score.
No, he hasn't scored in a while though.
A lot of us, a lot of us in the background are saying that Eddie Howe needs to maybe put a little bit more faith in Osula, remix it a bit. I say Gordon, Osula, and I say Ilanga, and you try it out. You let the boy who's got natural instincts, tall, he's built like Isak, give him a chance.
I think
The
that false
Wisa thing is
nine
exactly
that
what.
false nine play only a team of quality like City can get away with it.
But you see,
That's
this is
why
why
he's
I'm
saying
saying put in
Osula.
Osula. Yeah, Osula's a striker. He's built exactly like Isak. Put
But
the
they
boy
don't.
in there
They
and
don't need
trust
to
him.
look too far. They have Joelinton.
No, no,
Push
no,
him
no,
up
no,
front.
no.
Yeah,
No, no,
Leave
no.
Joe
that's
Linton in
true.
midfield.
But he's a
Like,
Guys,
striker. He's
He's
right.
not.
no,
He's right.
he's a
He's not a
midfielder. Joe
striker.
No,
Linton,
he can
if his
strike
name
four
was
people
just
out
He's
of
an
the
Joel
game.
Hoffenheim
and
in
not
midfield.
Joel Linton, and his name was just Joel, and he was British, you would leave him in that midfield and you just leave him alone and let him
Yeah,
get
leave
on
him
with
there.
what he was
He's
doing.
our box to box. He's our engine.
Yeah,
He
but
definitely
put
our
him
engine.
there.
You
You
leave
might
him
as
where
well
he
put
is
him
right
there
now.
because
And the problem,
it
no,
solves a short
he's
term.
also
It solves a short term problem. Because
no.
in,
He's
in
more
in these
better
first few
suited.
games, odds, yeah,
Better suited either on that left forward or in that left pocket in midfield. Leave him there. Don't move him back to a number nine where he wasn't confident because we signed him as a number nine. I'd rather have Anthony Gordon there. But there is a striker on our side. Only problem is our striker is 21. Back the boy. Wisa and Isak are in the same situation. Wisa is basically unfollowed, unliked. He's basically a divorced Brentford. And he wants to come. Isak wants to leave. We're stuck in a conundrum. But we want Wisa and we want Isak. We don't want Isak to go, and we also want Wisa to come. So we
I
are
think it'll
stuck in
be
a
very
conundrum. And
funny
that's
if
why I
we
heard
just
you're
go and
comes
put
with
Van
Gonzalo
Wissa.
Ramos.
it's a short
So
term
so
solution though.
what concerns me from when you started the initial statement against being lucky to get those points against Villa, um, that's where
Mm.
big club mentality is going over you guys' head. How are you going to retain or keep hold of Isak when the fans aren't pushing that narrative that you are a big club, you deserve to be in the top four or challenging or going into
Mm.
Europe?
Mm.
That is where you guys are going to become a feeder club like Brighton and start moving on all of your talented players to the likes of Liverpool. I would be saying,
Jeez.
Mm.
when Kubani asked you the question, out of the next three games, do you see 9 points coming to Newcastle? I'd say yes, and I tell you why.
Seven.
Van Dijk's not
Oh,
that where he used to be, so you might as well, I mean, get a goal out there,
if
and
we
even
solve the
you
number
win it.
nine problem, I agree with you.
So,
If we
so,
solve that striker
so,
problem,
Yo, Otamendi, this is one gentleman who's been stuck on, he's been drinking his Christmas wine for the longest of time. But he just made sense talking about your team.
it's a
and it's going
like
to take us a long time
lightning
to
strikes
get to a
once.
non-feeder. It's going to take us a while to get to a non-feeder, and it's going to be a 3-year operation where we are now the city, because even City we're getting players in, and they were also getting rid of players. I accept the fact that players move on. United also can be a feeder club.
To who?
But not,
Players are going to
but
come
No
That's
in.
one
it.
wants our
Players are going to
players.
inside
go.
the league. Not inside the
United
league,
wish
odds.
they could sell their
You
players.
can, you guys can
You
sell
can have
Isak, but
Nacho,
not
60
inside the
mil.
league. So my thing is that in
100%.
order for you to start being tapped into a feeder club situation, is that you sell to teams that you're competing directly against. If you're selling players to a club that you want to aspire to be. You want to aspire to be at the level of Liverpool, but you sell them your best player. You're never going to catch up to Liverpool. Take
Sorry,
Isak, you sell him to
Right.
Real Madrid,
Bafana have just scored
you sell
against
him to
Uganda.
Barcelona, you sell him to whoever.
Sorry.
Yes, if he wants to leave, we'll say fine. You don't
This
have to
is what
stay
I said
here.
last week.
We'll send you somewhere else. And then that's where I agree.
That's what I said
That's the
last week.
difference between being a feeder club and a normal club or whatever.
That's what I said last week. For
Mm.
me, Isak goes. If Isak, I would take 100 million from Barcelona, PSG,
Yep.
or Bayern Munich today, and I'd still say to Liverpool 150.
I
The
think we
whole
can
league
move on.
is
I think we
praying
can
with you, bro.
we
The whole league
we
is
can
praying with you.
yeah, I think we can move on from Newcastle. We don't have so many numbers there. So yeah, let's call it a day.
All right. See, let's move over to cheese. I mean,
Oh, so
yeah.
what was your results you said this weekend?
No, we're talking
Did,
about
did
this
you
man
also
here.
did
This
you-
man, right? The important teams, the
No, I'm just
important teams
asking.
are
No,
running
because it
in.
felt like you played
Yes,
at
the
me.
odds.
You my
No,
homie. It
Where's
felt like you played at
champions?
me.
No, I'm with
World
odds, guys. I'm
champions,
with odds. Like
uh,
I've won my game, and all I got was bullets. Odds got
bro,
a good draw
bro,
against
The
a
team.
difficult opposition.
bro.
All he
yeah.
got was bullets. Like
Thank you.
United lost. Where's your bullets? You're the
We'll
only
get to
two that
United.
lost, and
We'll
you
get to
haven't gotten
United,
any
Shiva.
bullets.
But I didn't say anything, Shabal.
I
I've
told you,
been calm.
James. This man,
No,
Yo,
whatever
guys,
happened at that play, whatever happened
let's
at that
talk.
play,
Let's talk
we're all
about
gonna
the
suffer for it
team.
today.
Let's talk about the team that everyone. Let's talk about the team that everyone is excited about. Fucking hell, Man City, yeah, guys,
Yeah.
Virgins. They've come back with They're playing the type of football that you play on FIFA on like easy mode.
Nah,
That's
They're
not
like
playing the
yet.
type of
real
football that
talk.
got them 100 points.
Not
Nah,
yet.
guys, like
Not
you
yet.
see,
that.
when
Ah,
I
I think.
said Pep is
Thanks. Are you
angry,
able to
I've been
mute? Are you
saying it.
able to mute this guy here? Because he's talking crap, and he knows that he's talking crap. Just mute him for just 2 seconds.
Look,
Not
The type of
yet.
before okay,
football,
hold
the
up.
type of
Before
football
we
that these
mute
guys are
Cheese, I have a
playing.
question for him. I have a question for him. Cheese, last week when we made our predictions, I said the reason why I'm putting City second is because I felt like your defense has gotten old together. And by your defense, I meant Stones, Diaz, and Akanji. And I
Yeah.
felt like you just wouldn't have the legs to get through to the end of the season, considering that you had a shorter preseason and you played in the Club World Cup. After that performance, I don't think Stones looks like he's old anymore. I think Stones looks like the treble winning John Stones, right? What do you think about your defense now after that
Y-
game yesterday?
Yeah. So first of all, I don't want you
Oh,
to call
look at him!
Ruben
Look at him!
Diaz.
Look at him! Look at him blushing because he
No,
knows
no,
he's
no.
done a good thing this
No, no,
season.
no.
And
Look
I'm
at
the
him
I
light
don't
one,
want
eh?
blushing.
him.
He's
I
blushing, but
don't.
I'm the light
I
one.
don't want him to call Ruben Diaz old because Ruben Diaz isn't old,
No, he's not old, but I feel like maybe
right?
old is the wrong word. I feel like
Aging,
they've aged
aging
together.
together.
Yeah.
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 So
That's a
that's
point.
so
I
that's
think it's a
normally what
point.
happens with centre backs, right? The more you guys play together, train together, the better you become. And remember, Stones and Diaz was part of that centre back pairing where they went on something crazy, like I think it was 15 clean sheets in that season, something. And that partnership was probably one of our best partnerships I've seen in a while since like Vincent Company days. But for me, we're playing, right? But we're still not playing fast enough. I still think there's a bit more tentative nature in our game. What we have started to do well is on the transition. We are now much more faster in winning the ball back and getting it up to our forward players. Whereas last season,
Yeah.
and you remember last season, something that I always used to complain about is that we're playing, but we're playing too slowly. And once you play too slowly, you allow so many teams to get back into defensive positions and to
Yeah.
cover. And for the wingers, you want to wingers against one-on-one situations. If your wingers have to dribble two or three guys, it doesn't work. But if you recycle the ball fast enough, you create those chances. So 100%, Shiva, my problem is always the case is defense. If we defend better than we did last season, we have a better case of winning the league than we'll ever have going forward. But it has to be built on that John Stones and Ruben Diaz
Rico
partnership. The other
Lewis,
guys
Rico
just need to
Lewis,
help.
Rico Lewis is a shit player. I just wanted to say that to get your attention.
Just
Secondly,
because just
you,
because
you
he,
guys
he didn't
hold on.
want to walk
Can I
out the
move
side of
on?
the pitch.
Past
Jeez,
that.
guys,
That
guys,
beat is gone.
let the
Whatever
people
happened at
who
that play,
won
bro?
their
Whatever happened
games
at
this
that play?
weekend talk.
He was.
Can we talk about, because I've been I looked at City's next three games. They can make a statement out of the next three games, because they are playing. I actually had it open here. They're playing Spurs. They're playing Brighton. They're playing United. They're playing Arsenal. It's four games. They can make a statement.
All those teams that beat us last season.
Thank you. Which is why I'm saying they can make a statement. If out of the four games, so Otamendi, this is how you answer a question. Cheese, out of the four games that are coming through, how many points do you see your team based on the performance this past weekend? Watch him be
I
all
don't think
modest
I
and
don't think we
shit.
beat I don't think we beat Spurs. I don't think we beat United. Um, so I
You
think we'll
you
get
you
at
don't know
least
how
6
to beat
wins,
Spurs.
6 points at most. We
You think you
it's not it's
lose to
not that it's
United?
not it's not that we don't know how to lose how to beat Spurs. We just don't
2-1,
know how
2-1
to
against
defend
Uganda.
against.
For all
We don't know
those
how
Hey,
to
watching,
defend against.
2-1
We
against
don't know how to
Uganda.
defend against the counter attack, and that for
Yeah.
me is always the biggest problem for us. If Spurs sit deep, hit us on the counter attack, we're always gonna be in trouble. I mean, you saw how Kudus is on that wing, and if he's
And
going
by
to be
then,
playing against
and
Rico
by
Lewis,
then they
we'll
would have
probably be
had
in trouble. So
Eze coming in, and they have Eze on the one side.
so so geez, I think one thing that you may be overlooking is that if you look at United's first game, you guys can pick up points there because United aren't looking to play on account anymore. We're trying to be very front-footed, and that's where you guys excel. We are not going to play tactically like we did under Ollie, where we're waiting for you guys to press up against us into our final third, and then we try and hit you on the counter. That's not what I'm seeing in terms of what Amarin's trying to plan.
I want to
So
disagree
for
there.
me, you
That
guys should be able, well, not should be, I'm expecting a clapping from City when we play you guys. Just based on how we went out
you
against a possession-based team such as Arsenal, which is something similar that you would have done. I think we tried to go and dominate ball possession in our game. Mind you, we played at home, but I still think you guys come through, and
we
because
can't
of our
we can't
tactic.
defend.
I think
We
Amarim
can't defend
knows
like
that though.
Arsenal.
Hmm.
We can't defend like
Yeah,
Arsenal.
that's
That's
also
that's the
true.
one thing. We can't defend like Arsenal. If you guys get the chances that Mbuemo and Ahmad and all those guys got on the break,
Hmm.
you guys are gonna hurt us because
But you see,
there's just some
so
mental
in my,
block that comes in City's defenders when we're playing in that transition. Once we lose the ball and everyone has to try and win the ball back, either we have Bernardo's definitely too slow to catch up to anyone now. Bernardo's probably the slowest player in the
look
league. Easily probably the slowest player in the league, and
in my opinion, that NJ, in my opinion, you cannot you cannot as United um lose to some of these big clubs. You can't say I've lost to Arsenal, I've lost to City, I've lost, and then still think that your keeper, or not your keeper, your coach deserves to stay. So there has to be a breaking point. I really feel as if
Yeah,
Amarin will
we'll.
have to change his tune against City.
He's not
Whatever
gonna
his tune
change
is, I'm
jack
not saying.
shit,
Yeah.
bro. He
So
Yeah,
ain't
so
but
gonna
what I'm
change
saying,
our
what I'm
guys,
nothing.
saying,
our
what I'm
I
hey,
saying to you,
guys,
last year,
He's
Tottenham,
last
not
year
gonna
he
to the
did
change
biggest
he
rival.
fought
nothing.
City.
You cannot
last year
lose
he
to your
changed
biggest.
against City.
Yeah.
Thank you.
yeah, he did.
But you
So
cannot lose
so
to your
odds.
biggest two rivals and then still say, "Oh no, I'll still have a job tomorrow." No,
No, no,
it
change will
doesn't
come
just
when
look
we
like
play
that.
Liverpool. Shavar will sort us out. Don't worry.
I didn't say
No, they
nothing,
are gone.
Nashava. I didn't say anything, bro.
I'm glad. I'm glad we have two triple captainships this year, one for each United fixture.
Yeah. But see,
But yeah, cheese.
yeah, you can talk. You can talk.
Yeah. So like I said, cheese. Just based on the way you guys performed over the weekend, I genuinely think, as Ngobani said, you guys are really well. You've set the benchmark for the opening weekend, and if you continue to play in the manner that you did over the weekend, it's going to be very difficult for clubs similar to what Liverpool is to try and catch up. Because yes, it's a marathon, but if
Mm.
they have the struggle game, even though you've won, Siobhan, respectfully, you guys won your game. But if you're going to have that type of struggle to get across the line and win the game, and the way City won theirs over the weekend, it is going to be very difficult to try and catch up to them. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, this
So
man is talking
so
sense, guys. Let's
No,
let's give him let's give him
I
his
don't
credit. He's
disagree.
talking
I don't
sense.
disagree. I don't
I
disagree
don't
at all.
disagree, right? I what the only thing I just want you to see that it's we had a better defensive performance, right? And our better defensive performance was based on the fact that whenever we won the ball, we were quick to transition to score 4 goals. All 4 of our goals came from transition. Someone won the ball, we got it up quickly, we got it in between the strikers, we got a goal. All 4 of our goals, if you check, it's not because we were building or fluid or whatever. Whenever we lost the ball, as quickly as we won it back, we tried to get on the on the attack on the front foot to go and score the goal. And that's where all 4 of our goals came. And for me, that's going to be the difference. If we can do more of that this season, where sometimes you see Bernardo get the ball and he'd spin and he'd spin and he'd look backwards and he'd pass it to Ruben Diaz and then the chance is gone. But I really think a lot of teams will hurt us. We can't play with Rico Lewis against really good left wingers. I don't think Rico Lewis is a good one-on-one defender. He's good
Thank you,
in
thank
playing
you,
that
thank
position.
you. That's you agreeing with me. Thank you, thank you.
Ngubane,
What am I doing?
this
Yeah.
part is about City, not about you. Just let cheese cook. I'm listening intently here.
I'm landing there.
Yes.
Yeah, and I guess yes, we still have Nunez. We still have a lot of players on the bench. Still, I think we still have a lot of quality on the bench, and that's what's going to be the difference for us this season. Pep and other Pep and Kolo need to read the games similar to how they read the game, yeah, on Saturday. If they read the game situations, who to play against, who, what sort of pockets and situations where we can win the ball and get the transition, and those sort of games win. You don't have to win all the games by being Barcelona or 8 or 9. We don't.
I think cheese. What sort of piggybacking of what you said, and to answer Chriso is this week we had a bit of a blip and we won, and you absolutely dominated and won comfortably in the end. Not every week is going to be like that. You're not going to absolutely dominate every single team, and we're not going to go 2-0 up and then concede 2 goals to make it 2-2 against every single team. That will probably happen to you at some point, and at some point we will completely and utterly dominate a team. We're playing United in October at Anfield, so just putting it out there. Um,
As we segue into Chelsea, on
as
that
we
back of
segue
that
into
point,
Chelsea,
Completely ignored
um,
Shabar.
there's beauty in like facing an opponent that you can like end of the game respect that they are a well managed side. Like they've got it drilled into them that this is at this moment you do this, at this moment you do that,
Yeah,
and
Glasnow's good.
Palace right now
Glasnow's good.
is yeah they are there. Um, I know
I have a
everyone's looking
question for
back.
everyone
Hold
once
on, don't ask
Ibane lands.
questions. Don't no we
Wait,
fine.
wait,
We're moving on
Shabar.
because we're gonna talk
I
about
wanna.
Man United just
I
now.
want to talk
Hold
about
on.
Palace. I want to talk about Palace, but land
I
first.
want. I want. I want to. I want to carry on Cikle's point after, and mine is literally just one quick sentence after Cikle's made his point.
Guys, Palace have an understanding of they play the opponent. Literally, I think they study the opponent game in, game out.
Yeah.
Palace doesn't have identity as in, oh, this is how Palace play. They literally decide, oh, we're playing Chelsea, we're going to do this. We're playing City, we're going to do this. We're playing Liverpool, we're going to do this. And well executed.
It works for them.
I've got nothing but mad respect. They walked away with the point home to a team that everyone has on their lips as a top 3 team. I have them as a top 2 team. But anyway, that's just my view. The
But
Who,
opponent
Crystal
had a
Palace?
better understanding.
your Christmas wine is from a few Christmases ago.
Nah, it's like
Yeah.
today.
You're saying
Tremendous
Crystal
man.
Palace is gonna be
You can,
second?
Mr. Isaac, you can ask the question. It's an yeah, go for it.
Quick one. I feel as if we spoke about the losses that Bournemouth had. And yes, they still lost 4-2 to a superior side on the day. However, if they are going to keep cooking and going to the league champions and still putting in a performance, that's a side that I think we need to like watch out for.
Mm.
I don't think it's a side that goes down.
Mhm.
And if they don't go down and Bournemouth don't go down and they're not in
Nah.
that mix, our list we need to go back and talk about that list at the end of the day, because
mm,
I said we said you don't lose your back five and still think
mm,
you're still gonna compete. You don't lose
yeah.
your best striker or your best forward and your striker if Wisa
Mm,
does leave Brentford and your coach and
mm,
still are able to compete. So that Bournemouth side is still cooking. You know, if I mean obviously it's just game one, but when it was 2-2, I was like, oh my soul, like is this Liverpool now? Is Liverpool tied? However,
mm,
obviously they got the result, but cooking against a Bournemouth
mm,
that has almost been stripped. So it's the same thing as the
mm,
Palace thing. You kind of think, oh, it's just Palace. You lose Ezeli, you lose
mm,
Gahey, and then what? But now you look at them, you're like, actually,
mm.
wait,
Mm.
Palace,
So,
Palace
so, so,
is there, is alive.
so let me come in here, Arts. I think what Ngubani said about Palace is that they are definitely a well-drilled machine. I think the outstanding
Mm,
player for me, and I mentioned this in the group, was Wharton.
Mhm.
Literally, how he is
mm,
linking that defense and attack. Um, it's I'm not going to say that he's the new Busquets or he's the English Busquets, but similar to him. If you watch him play the game, you're going to see everything. But
mm,
well,
mm,
just the way he's winning those balls, retaining it, and moving it forward. I mean, Chelsea's midfield really struggled against him, and what I would have expected was that Caicedo was going to dominate that part of the park against him, and
mm.
rightfully, as Ngubani
Didn't
said,
happen.
give credit where credit's due. Palace ticks because that Wharton guy makes that midfield work for the team, and I think
So
I can only see them going from strength to strength. I
to
actually have them
answer,
going much
Mm.
higher now in our standings from where we were last week, just based on how they've played in the first game.
yeah. So to Shiva's question, um,
I didn't ask my question yet.
Mm.
you did. Fuck, you did. I can see you asking it. Um, the problem with Palace, or that they have, is in twofold. One, which is the immediate danger, which is the transfer window.
Mm.
They lose Gay, they could lose
Is it
Eze, they could lose
Wharton?
Wharton. Yeah,
I think
I
because
Wharton
don't
stays.
think.
I
Yeah, I
think
also
it's
don't
too
think
crucial
Wharton
for
stays.
Wharton.
So
Yeah.
I
hold on.
think
Wharton
he goes
stays.
If
United if they
these
don't get
guys, if
Babella.
these guys, no, no,
Clever.
hold on. If these guys are serious about, they don't want to have a conversation about Belebe, because Belebe is going to cost them like 90 mil. Check in 80 bar, get this guy and get it over the line. That's just my 2 cents.
Do you really think Steve Parish will get rid of three English
Not
like
getting rid
I
of.
mean that
Mm.
or sell? I mean, okay, fine. Gahey, we call Gahey 40. Eze probably closer to like 70 odd,
63. I
Hmm.
think he's
somewhere
63
around
is
there.
where they settled.
Yeah.
Wharton probably around the same. Yes, there's money coming in, but I mean, in a World Cup year, like, do you get?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's to
That's
to
something
answer
that
your
I
So
might
question?
need to let
it's
marinate.
To answer
I
your
was trying
question,
to
I
I was
don't
trying
think
to
Okay,
it
sorry, sorry,
happens
sorry.
add.
this late in the window.
Mm.
If this all happened in the first 2 weeks, then I'd say yes, maybe. But in the last 2 weeks, no, not all three.
Mm, thank you. So
Yes,
remember I said that
maybe that's my point. Yeah.
their problem is a twofold. It's the one, those three players. They get rid of those players because the unfortunate thing with the league is that if you can strengthen your defense, your middle, your attack, like get like solid players, then you sort it. But anyway, we've talked about
When are we talking about
they,
Chelsea?
we
He
will
doesn't
just
want to talk about Chelsea
oh,
because there's
I'm
nothing
not
to say about
Okay.
Chelsea.
done. I
Jeez,
will talk about Chelsea. Let me
you
finish
know
this.
Gubal did
He
his
said,
deflection tactics.
Yep. You know,
He even went to a kids' play to
Okay,
go get ideas on how to deflect.
no, he was hoping we want to start with Chelsea, but we didn't.
I was, I
Sinclair, I
was.
just want to
Um,
ask: does Steve Parish, and I'm not saying Palace are direct rivals to Spurs, United, and Liverpool, but do you understand those three
and
transfers
that's
to
the
those three
second
clubs?
part, and
What
that's
it
the
does?
second part of the
Mm,
conversation, where the one
mm,
is maintaining or keeping those three players. The second one is that you don't face the top six every weekend. And I feel
okay.
Palace have this thing of they can do brilliantly against a Chelsea or a Liverpool. Come weekend, they face a West Ham and they lose.
Mm,
So
mm,
it's that
mm.
yo-yo thing that they
Yeah.
have. They can't maintain their winning strategy. Let them face a major, a big team. They show up because they are drilled and. But
So
these games, these weird games that
yeah.
Mateta is expected to have a goal at
Mm,
or like a goal or
mm,
two and whatnot. He just doesn't show. Against West
yeah.
Ham being
Mm.
a team. Against Sunderland, I don't see them scoring. So it's that part where now they need to decide what they are doing. One, are they going to
And
play in
and
the big
and
league where
So
they keep these players ransom, like the my favorite
mm,
manager,
so
sorry, my favorite owner, Mr. What's his name? That big guy.
Danny Levy.
No, no,
Levi.
not Levy.
Oh, the
Manakis.
Forest.
Mm.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Forrest himself, where he holds these guys ransom and is like, you guys are staying. Don't doesn't matter that whether we lose money on Gabe walking out for free come end of the season and
Yeah.
whatnot. Right now, this is what we are wanting to do. We are wanting
Yeah.
to get
I don't
Europe.
I don't think Palace has those ambitions, and in my view, they would actually cash in this window if the
Thank
right
you.
money comes to them.
Thank you. But
And
not
Yeah,
With
this
that
late
that's
in the
said,
so
window.
now Amrin has to go right ahead and tell his broke billionaire owner that, yo, my
mhm,
guy, let's go for this boy here because we can't afford to pay 90 bar that
but the thing is that
Brighton is
yeah,
asking for.
but the thing is that my thing is that okay, if you're gonna go for Wharton, Bruno and Wharton double pivot won't work, bro. Wharton doesn't have the
No,
legs. It
mhm,
I think
won't
That's what
Wharton
I
work.
was
opens
gonna
up.
say.
It
Wharton,
won't
in
Wharton
terms
opens
of
work.
up.
quality, is
Yes, on the
probably better
ball.
than Baliba. But in
Yeah,
terms of better fit for United, I don't think there's anyone in the league that's better than Baliba because that boy's got
yeah,
legs
mhm.
and he's like a complete midfielder.
hundred
Wharton is not a
percent.
complete midfielder.
That's true.
Yeah.
So
It's like
so
same thing
so
with
what's
Reinders.
the price?
Reinders is also
What's the price?
another complete
Yeah.
midfielder.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah,
What's the price difference that you are willing to go right ahead and say, okay, I'll have Wharton over Belieber?
like I said,
What is English?
CJ,
I think they go for the same price.
Yep.
yeah,
Mm,
I
Unfortunately.
think so too.
yeah.
And as well
Which
because
is
of the
why I'm
demand.
asking what's the price difference? If Wharton is a 50 bar player and they say
He's
a
not.
Belieber
It's
is a
English.
90, that's
So
like
so
40 million difference.
so
It
Now
doesn't
so
Wharton is
matter
not
the
40.
price
so,
because it doesn't
Oh,
solve their problem.
40,
yeah. So
40 million is 40 million is what Sunderland is paying for players these days. I'll tell you now, that United level, you're not getting anyone for less than 70.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're not.
So look,
And I think
we've got
what
odds.
I just
I
wanted
think
to
we've got
a quick thought.
a 60
Mm.
60 mil saved up in Ganacho, and a swap for a player with some cash could work in our could work in our favor, right? X
100%, my guy. Hundred
Wharton for
percent.
50 with Ganacho going the other way. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, we can do that, dog. Like really, really, really. But you see, with
How
me,
So
much are you
what I
gonna
wanted
sell
like
to s-
Onana for?
you
So
see,
yeah.
like same. It's like
Banana
same thing with
stays.
yeah, yeah. It's like you see same thing with United. I know you guys like hold Bruno to a high regard, Nick Grizzle. But
Mhm.
if we can get both Wharton and Baliba, that will balance our midfield to the T. That
I
means we don't
even
even need to play Bruno, even in our
Yeah.
squad.
But both is a
Literally.
bit of
yeah, that's a
Yeah, it's
stretch.
both is
possible.
a
Both
It's possible,
both you don't
bro.
need.
We got
Yeah.
now we do need both,
no.
bro.
I
No, no,
Ah,
no,
okay,
it
guys.
no, no.
solidifies our
Before
team,
For
bro.
one
Our
for one
midfield.
before
game a
we go
week.
to United, before we
X
go to United, I
play
have
one
one
game a week.
question.
You don't need both of them.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't need both. But before we go to United, I want to ask about Palace. Firstly,
Mm.
Chris, I'm completely with you. I don't think Palace have those ambitions. They were never that club. They were happy to finish 17th every season and just stay in the league. And I
Yeah.
think that's just the club they want
Mm.
to be. They want to, you know, raise these players, sell them off for big profit, and exist in the league and finish between 17th and 12th. And I think they're very happy with that.
Mm.
My
Yeah.
second point is against Chelsea. I don't think it was a Wharton versus Caicedo thing. I think what Glasner did was he tried to put a screen in front of Palmer to stop him from receiving the ball.
Two
Or
players. Yeah.
whenever Palmer received the ball, he had his back to goal. So he
Yeah.
couldn't
Yeah.
really hurt them. And that just completely nullified Chelsea up until the young kid Estevao came on, who, by the way, is a real Brazilian. But we'll get to that. My
Yeah.
question was, my question was, we all we all make fun of Arsenal for the fact that they will compete but they will never win the league, right?
Mhm.
And X, I know you say a lot of that is down to the manager. So my question
Mm.
is, if Glasner was the manager of Arsenal, would they
Yeah.
win the league?
I'd
No,
be more
Glasner.
scared of Arsenal
I, I
I
personally.
want
would be too.
I wanna
Yeah.
I would say
I wanna
two
say
coaches
something.
win the league if they take over at Arsenal. That would be Frank and Glasner. I think they
Yeah.
would win the
Yep.
league with
Yep.
those two managers.
100%. It's like same thing with us, Chriso. The reason why we were so dominant, it was because of
Hmm.
Sir Alex. Ever since Sir
Yeah.
Alex left, look at us, 10 years.
Mm.
We are struggling, bro. Managers
13.
play a huge,
10.
yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
Chriso,
Jesus.
whatever, Shiva. But anyway, like, but like you, managers are so crucial. Same thing with Shiva's team.
Mm.
When Klopp came in, things changed. He brought in the mentality. And I always say the mentality comes
Mm.
from the bench, bro.
Yeah.
You know, when you have a manager who's the real deal, bro, psychologically, it I don't know what it does to players, bro. It just makes players play to levels that, you know,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
it even
Yeah.
surprises you,
So,
you know. So
but
yeah,
also
so,
some coaches are good where they are. Like I honestly don't think some
Like
coaches
they peak
would
where
be
they are.
able to coach at these
mm,
big six clubs though. Like some of these big six clubs, there's a lot going on. It's like taking a random coach and asking them to go coach Kaiser Chiefs or
mm,
Pirates and they've never won anything.
mm,
It's like
Labby.
that's what we're currently
you
doing,
can't
bro, with
and
Pirates.
and and
We
that's
gotta
mm,
move.
that's one of the big
Ish.
mm,
things is that even if you were to take these guys and you take them to Arsenal,
mm,
the winning culture at Arsenal isn't there anyway.
mm.
It's non-existent.
Mm.
So he has to work
Glasner
on
has
building that from the beginning.
As yeah,
Glasner has more trophies than Arteta.
Yeah,
Don't say that out
yep.
loud now.
you
Come
see,
on.
And it's
and that's
yeah,
What the fuck?
I've
This
always
guy. We still want our
I think
Arsenal fans. We love you.
Mm.
We don't. FIFA does not represent our views of the channel.
It's not a view,
it's
it's
not.
the truth.
It's a
It's about it's a direction that the club needs to take. The sporting director
mm.
needs to be someone really good, someone
yeah. We do have.
who's not
Look,
dependent
I
on the
mean,
manager. Yeah.
so for me, I think if like every player, coach, etc., finds their level. And what I wanted to raise about like Palace, and then obviously we caveated in all of this, but I mean, I think the point still holds water, is that they are happy to play in that 17 to 12,
Yeah.
right? Unfortunately, you're probably going to find that their success over the past 4 months, right? 3 months actually, because it's 90 days,
Mm.
has been so much so that now they need to be playing in that top 10 bracket. But to play in that top 10 bracket, you've got to go and cash in. So the same thing as we've discussed about Newcastle is that you've got to cash in to get those players so that you can fix in that bracket. But till you do that, you won't be able to compete because Isak is holding you back because you need the money. I mean, we don't need the money, but but I'm seeing the thing
Ladies
of
and gentlemen,
you sell three players.
Mr. Newcastle himself has decided that Isak can fuck off.
I didn't say that, but what I'm saying is Gahey, Wharton, and Eze unlock so much funds that if you are playing in Europe, those three players are potentially 5 players in funds.
If it's spent
Those
well,
are 5
odds.
players that they can go to France, Belgium, um, whatever, and then they can go get those type of players to get them to that were consistently
But
playing
the risk,
But
in the
that's
So
not the
so
Champions
so
League
club's
at
odds.
model.
but the
so
risk
The
is
so
now
club's
that you
model
go.
is not
but
to
it,
get
but
into
it,
Wait,
but,
Europe.
but it isn't.
Yeah. So
But it isn't the club model, yes. But what I'm saying is
odds.
those 3
So
players
look,
unlock.
it can go either way, and I look
yeah.
at it this way.
Yeah.
When Liverpool cashed in on Coutinho, they went out and they got the players for the value of that money. Spurs tried the same
Mm,
thing when they let Bale go, and we all know where
Yeah.
how that went
mm.
for Levy. So
We
is the
tried the same thing with
structures
Suarez.
is
We
the
learned from the
structures
Suarez
right
mistakes
at
first.
Palace for them to take that risk when
No,
they've
they
never
didn't.
been in that space? Unlike you guys, they don't have ambitions because they don't have oil money.
Yeah,
I think also
that's true.
fans are weird creatures. Fans are like are like wives where if you had to like tell them that, hey, listen, I've got a promotion at work, I'm gonna be earning this much, they already spent whatever that
Yeah.
you've told her that, hey, this
Mm.
is how much you're going to be earning.
Mhm.
It's the same thing where fans are like, yo, you cashed in on Coutinho for 100 bar, so that means we've got 100 bar to spend. No, it doesn't,
Mm,
motherfucker. It means we can go right ahead and play around with that 100 bar,
mm.
but like
So then
it's
let
a
so
weird.
so then those 3 players must leave Crystal Palace. Then get rid of them because their ambition is to be winners. So then get rid of them, put the cash into your training ground or whatever it is, and just be happy and float. Let United go and get Wharton. Let Arsenal or Spurs
Be
go
the
and get
next
Eze because
Brighton.
they want players to win. Let Liverpool
Mm.
go and get Gahey because it helps them win. If you're Palace, you don't want to win. Just let the lads
Be the
go.
next Brighton. I think be the next Brighton.
He
Nah, but I
And
think Brighton,
he's
they
happy for them to
occupy,
Have a
go, but
best
at the
Tottenham.
right price.
guys, I think
Yes.
we forget Brighton occupy a brilliant space where their business model is purely invested in their recruitment. Um, the football they play is beautiful and whatnot, but the majority of their money comes from
Selling players to
recruitment.
Chelsea.
And that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that.
Yeah, best
Guys, I'm
Tottenham.
looking at the time. Let's talk about
Yeah. United.
the
Let's
game
talk
of
But
the
about the
Chelsea,
weekend.
only
so
team represented here that lost, and
okay.
yet
Yeah.
everybody
So
else
so
got the bullets.
so so,
so
so
we're not
guys,
going to speak about
Can I
I'd
Chelsea.
like
can
to.
I can I quickly go?
No,
I just want to quickly
Mubanis
say.
doesn't want to talk about
Sure.
Chelsea. It's fine.
We don't
Okay,
talk
I have
about
one question about Chelsea.
Chelsea.
I have one question
Sure.
before we move.
I think
I have one question about Chelsea before we
okay.
move. Does Cole Palmer make you a better team when he plays or not?
Jesus.
Yes or no?
Go smoke something. Let's move on. Yeah,
Yeah.
talk about the next thing.
All right,
I
Chris.
I, I concede.
No.
I just want to ask quickly. In terms of United, I think there was a lot of this United could cook, right? And felt like a bit of the same old United. So for
Mm-mm,
me, they need to really build
mm-mm.
a proper run that you need to choose your keeper and say this is my guy. Like back a team, and then we must see a bit of not when I say spine, actually backbone. I need to see a bit of backbone from this United team. So I was not necessarily too worried before the game, and after the game, I was like, yeah, it's going to be a long season. The only thing that helps United is that playing one game a week. We've seen Chelsea have some success from that. We've seen Newcastle have some success from that. If they drop the ball on one game a week, there's bigger problems at United than we actually can envisage. And no podcast can ever
Yeah.
diagnose the problems at
One
United.
game a week, one game a week also creates a problem, Mots, because if you lose the game, you have another 7 days to wait till you rectify it. Which for me, I always think is another problem because now you get stuck in that cycle. If you lose this game, you lose another game, then another week. Yeah, you're just waiting every 7 days to get a hiding. Um,
But this coach is
but
used to
look,
getting hidings, bro. Like, come
It's
on.
true.
Don't
yeah,
act like he's
to be
not
fair,
used
to be fair,
to.
to be fair. But for me, there's still too many big spaces between the attack, between the midfield, and between the defense. It's just
Yeah.
there's still just too much space between all those. I feel like everyone's working in he's got them working now really well in each department. Like midfielders know what they need to do, defenders know what they need to do, and I think he's getting them to train in silos. But when they come together on the pitch, there's just so much space between everyone, and I don't know how
Yeah,
he's going to get that right.
yeah.
It's
Especially with
simple.
when you
Guys,
saw
it's
the
simple.
fullbacks. I mean, the balls that were getting to Mbeumo, and I was speaking about earlier, the balls were getting to Mbeumo. There were long diagonal direct balls that were getting to Mbeumo behind the defense, so he can run into space,
Have you
and
ever
he'd get
done
there,
a,
and
a
he'd
group
get, and
assignment,
he's alone in the box.
Cheese? Cheese, have you ever done a
My
group assignment?
favorite. I know where
That's
Ngubani is going with this.
yeah. That's how United look. They look like a
My
group assignment.
My favorite, and probably the story of that game, obviously not the whole story, but the most telling part of that game and how I see United's season going was Diego Dallo. Is his first name Diego? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Dallo gets
Diogo.
gets on the end of the ball, drives down the pitch, sets himself properly, looks up into the box, sees no one there, and then crosses it anyway. That's what United. That's the entirety of United. They did almost everything right, but at the last second they just let themselves down. And I think that's what the season is going to be. I liken
I just
that
want to ask,
United
who's Jules
performance
calling a
to
smaller team?
say
Well,
again.
they played. Yeah, they played
Who's Jules calling a smaller
us.
team? Because I thought they
Yeah,
were the smaller team.
I'm confused by it also, and I'm gonna see him tomorrow, like just to get
Yeah.
like to him to tell me like what he means by that, because
Who are
Yeah.
the
All the
smaller
smaller
teams?
teams
Because
got
they finished
all the
16th.
smaller teams got relegated.
Yeah.
Oh, so then they're just the bottom half of the other smaller teams because remember they finished 15th.
Yeah.
Newcastle finished 10 places above
No,
United. So I
but
just want to
I
know
think
who are
I
the
think
smaller teams.
the smaller team is Wolves because everyone else got relegated and Tottenham won a European trophy. So the smaller team is Wolves.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
Also,
Crizzle.
United keep the
Yeah.
intensity against one smaller team. Okay, and the ones that came up. Thanks,
Yeah.
Jules.
Crizzle, you
Yeah,
can go,
so
bro.
so obviously, as you guys can see, I actually came prepared with a bunch of points, specifically knowing that you guys are going to
Show
ask me,
us
and
your
I'd like
exam
you guys
pad.
to always, yeah, 100%. So before I start, look,
He's got a
I think
pen.
I want to answer
He unbuttoned
uh,
his shirt, bro.
100%, my guy.
he's got
I
Archie
want
in
to
his middle like
address
that.
the title of the show, United in Crisis. So, X, as much as you don't appreciate the manager that we currently have, I don't think that United are in crisis based on this weekend's result. And I've
Mm.
got, in my view, some points that I'd like to talk to in that regard. But I think let's start with odds. You made a point where you said United needs to show a bit more backbone. Remembering that last season we finished 15th, we were literally the lapdog of the English Premier League. We went out and played arguably the second best team in England from last year, and we dominated possession against Arsenal, who is a ball passing team. What we did
Fair.
throughout that specific
Good
game
point.
against Arsenal was inhibit or prevent them from playing the Arsenal soccer by playing those intricate passes and forcing them to go long,
Mm,
allowing us
mm,
and our defenders to keep their star striker Gyökeres out of the game, who was literally a couch
mm.
potato or strung along for 70
Yeah,
minutes of that
invisible.
game. So,
Yeah.
so for
Playing
me,
with his hair most of the game.
I think what we need to look at, and Shiva, I've literally, I see you, and I will gladly take that point from you in a second. What I want us to understand is that this is a United team that comes from 15th, and we need to give credit where credit is due. What Amrin has done throughout the preseason and shown with his first game of the season, albeit what we would consider a top six club, and that's generally where United perform well, um, is that he's shown
Mhm.
that tactically there is tweaks and improvements in how his team is approaching the game, what they are actually doing in terms of winning the ball back from the guys. So, Chaval, I'll give you an opportunity now to give you a point, but I also want to get back to the same point that you and Cheese made about the space being in the middle. 100% agree with you. We definitely need someone like Baleba in that midfield that can cover all of that space once Bruno departs. I mean, our trigger over the weekend against Arsenal was Cunha and Mbuemo. Either they're going to aggressively press, and that means that our midfield presses with them, or they are going to lay off. There's one instance where They laid off the press, and then Kaz immediately ran in and he pressed hard. What that did is it allowed the team to play past Kaz and past Bruno because he couldn't cover that ground. Now, if that was someone like Baleba, they would be able to eat up those distances. So, yes, I see that gaping hole in the middle of the park. But what I'm trying to say is that from a United perspective, the improvement is visible in terms of the structure and what he's trying to do. And like you mentioned earlier on, Shiva, is that final decision. Reminds me of our Ganache guy. You do everything right, is that last decision that came to bite us. So,
There was a
Shiva,
conversation. There was a conversation that was
I
had.
had
So
my hand up. I had my
oh
hand up.
yeah,
Like
this
this,
is not
this
teams. This is
guy,
not teams.
he goes
We're
to
talking about
one
teams.
play,
This is not teams.
mhm,
There
and
was a
all sorts of
conversation.
decorum goes out the window.
There was an argument that was had, and
mhm,
I'll be very quick. If you count me down 60 seconds on this. When Bruno rejected a move to Saudi, and
mhm,
everyone asked, he's being loyal to the team,
mhm.
and that's good. It wasn't good. X said it that it's not good. You could go right ahead and cash in, use that money to rebuild the team because he's shown that he's more of an individual than he is of the team. Greed is good. X went and said he doesn't mind having both Baleba and Wharton in the same team. And everyone went and flinched an eye and like, oh, yo, you can't do that. Greed is good. I say if you get rid of Bruno, you get those two players,
It's an
United
upgrade,
problems are
bro.
sorted.
We start
So,
playing as a team, bro. And
So it
it's
does
That's
look
not,
like
my
a much
two
better
cents.
team.
I
yeah,
know
and we
It
balance.
Eminem
does look like a much
watches
better team.
More
he
than
watches the
anything, it's
show
balance,
frequently,
bro.
and
yeah.
when he says
Yeah.
it, it's not personal, it's just
Yeah.
facts.
Yeah, it's balanced. I
So
mean, our team, that's the issue with our midfield. It's just unbalanced, bro.
I,
And that's what's gonna be our biggest Achilles heel, especially when we're playing against teams we are meant to beat. When the teams like
uh,
your Palace give us the
Once a
ball,
week, by the way.
mm,
and once a
Once a
week
week.
we're gonna struggle, bro. We're gonna struggle and we're gonna get exposed in the midfield
we no longer
until
we
until
no
that
longer
era
say
is.
we
And
no
and you know
longer
what's.
say Achilles heel there. We say ACL.
mhm.
Yeah.
So,
But like it's
Remember,
I just
look,
you
I
cannot you cannot afford to be exposed for 90 minutes a week and then
100.
still think that
Nah,
yeah,
bro, we all
look,
know
there's
where
no
the problem
excuses.
is. But you know what's the problem? The manager is way too rigid, bro. He will always stick to his philosophy. He will stay stubborn. Even you see, like right now, it's the players that are bailing him out. I just feel like the quality of players have
uh,
improved. Hence,
I
that's why
disagree
we
with
were
you, X.
were much
I
better.
disagree with you. One
I
of the
think we're
points you
much.
made earlier on
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Amarin was willing to change his tactics when playing against different opposition. We saw that against Man City. Now you might say that City was drunk in terms of us playing them and winning the cup, but yeah, you saw him changing his
When
tactics when playing them. You saw us playing against Liverpool. The tactics change from an Amarin perspective when we are playing different teams. I don't think that we just go out there every weekend. It has to be press, win the ball in our positions, what's name, and hope that
Yeah,
they don't
but the
get to our midfield.
substitutions, Crizzle, like yesterday, Casemiro had a decent game. He takes out Casemiro and he puts in Ugarte. Why? Why do that?
Legs,
I just
legs,
gave
maybe
you,
legs.
No, but besides legs, Cass was having a good game, bro.
but
At
I just
times,
gave you a
yeah,
glaring example of what Kaz
yeah,
did in terms of opening that midfield space that Bruno was never going to be able to go and
yeah. But
cover.
it's
Now,
Bruno's fault because Bruno doesn't want to sit and he's not disciplined, bro. And he
okay,
leaves Cass exposed. So
Yeah, but Bruno's been told that he can play wherever he
you
wants.
see, that's the problem,
So
bro.
yeah,
This guy is
but
like the
it
he's
goes
like the guy. He's like the
it goes
teacher's
back
pet
to
right now,
no,
bruh.
no, 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 no,
And I have
no,
a
no.
problem with that.
I disagree with that as well because it goes back to the same point we made about Pogba when he was playing. At sometimes you allowed Pogba to either you wanted him to sit and hold because that's the requirement of the role that you wanted him to perform back then. But you also said that Pogba was the heartbeat of the team, and that if you don't release him so that he can go forward and create those things, it's a similar thing that's happening to Bruno. So for me, this is player bias from your side, X, in terms of
Okay.
Bruno.
Another,
It's
can I give another
literally what I'm.
example? I'll give
Yes.
you another example. The corner that we
Mhm.
conceded and we scored. Who is the one who had the ball in the box and decided to play a bullet pass to young
champagne
uh
passes.
Did you see that pass he played to that kid? What's his name? Yoro.
Champagne passes.
Yeah,
Mm.
And then after that, it led to the corner. Like for
right.
me, situations like that, and it led
Hmm.
to us conceding from such errors as well.
Yeah,
And I feel like our fan base never ever speaks on those things. Even in the final against Tottenham, it's him who
right,
gave away the ball that led to us conceding that goal. But you guys never. It's
right.
homie is the
So
I
shepherd of
think
Nazareth right now. He's
He's
Jesus.
Messi.
He ain't
He's
wrong.
Messi for you
no, no,
guys.
no, no.
Yeah, dog. And for
He's
me, I
him.
have a
He's him,
That
bro.
problem.
That
So
Uh,
actually
it's
goes perfectly to the point that I was going to make earlier, right?
mm,
When Crizzle was talking about how you guys dominated Arsenal. My point is, and I've been making this point to everybody, because United fans were out of the woodworks today, trying to talk about how well they played in their 1-0 defeat to Arsenal. You guys did not dominate Arsenal.
we didn't.
Arsenal
We didn't.
Arsenal scored, then they sat back and they let you have the ball because they
thank
just
Arsenal,
you.
waited for you to make a
And they
mistake so that
perceived and
they
they
could
and they
go
Arsenal,
and
perceived having the ball as domination.
yes,
I,
you
this
portrayed
Yeah.
having the ball as domination, but
no,
that
no,
was
no, no,
Doing
no,
Arsenal's
no,
so
plan. They
no,
were
no, James.
literally just waiting for you to make a mistake so they could
Sorry, man.
capitalize again.
Arsenal stoked
I,
us in that game, guys. Come on, let's be honest. You're not going to
Uh,
move the corner in and
I
Saliba.
can't, I can't
Uh,
agree with that.
They did stoke you.
we,
That was their plan, and it worked.
No,
every team
I'm
is
saying to
They
gonna
you, I'm saying
stoked
stoke
to my
us
they
point.
though.
stoked everyone the
I
whole
don't,
last season.
I,
Arsenal stoked everyone
I
all last
can't
season.
agree with that, Shabal, because unless you were in the change room, you can't say that this was Arsenal's tactic against United. You can't say
You
because we
don't
don't know
need to
what
be
type
in
of
the
Arsenal
change room to
is.
see that that was the
no, no,
tactic. That's literally what they did.
And you know
They,
what,
they, they
Shiva?
let
no, no.
United have the ball.
And
And
that's
United
the
fans are now on about, oh, we had more possession than a
nah
possession
that
based team. My guy, they
No,
were
no,
not trying to have possession. You
Shiva,
coming
yeah.
out and feeling like you
Shiva,
have
no, no,
possession
no, no.
is
Jose
another win
Shiva,
for
Mourinho
them.
once said,
Shiva,
hold on, Mourinho once said,
you can
you
have
can
the
have
ball.
70%, 80% of the ball position. I'll take away the 3 points, and that's that.
Yes,
And
That's
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 if you're
exactly
not
what
going to
Arteta
give.
did.
exactly.
That's
Thank
if you're
you.
not going to give
Guys,
a brown envelope like you did in yesterday's
Arteta
game,
was
guys.
longer
But
with Moyes than he was with
no,
Pep. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
so, gentlemen, I go back to this, and this is what I'm trying to say,
Mm.
Shiva. What we are doing is we are looking at a United team, and we are trying to rate them on the same levels as a Liverpool, a Chelsea, a Arsenal,
Yes, and
a
we
Man
should.
City.
We
We
should,
should.
bro.
No,
We
no.
should.
Historically, we should. We have not been on the same level for the past 30, 20, yeah, well, past 13
13.
years. Yes, for the
Yeah.
past 13 years. We need to accept that as United supporters. We have not been anywhere near the top four of the league at all. And that's through various intervals of managers coming in, incorrect structures being created, wrong personnel being brought in for different coaches. We have to understand that. Now, I'm saying X, from where we come from last season, playing and ending 15th in the league, the worst we've ever ended on. Hello,
Mhm.
Dr. I am saying that you can see there is a marked improvement and an opportunity for United to take positives out of the game that we had against Arsenal. Like you mentioned, I agree with you. At some point in time, we're going to need to find the balance in the middle of the park. And that's why we need a player in the mold of Baleba coming in. And by all means, if we can get Wharton and him at the same time, there's no way that I'm not going to argue against that and say that doesn't work for us because it makes us more
But you know
balanced in
what
the
the
middle of the
problem?
park.
But you know what the problem? You guys are gonna still persist on wanting us to play Bruno,
No,
knowing
no.
very well Baleba and Wharton would be the perfect pairing.
I
That
can
is
have
my
a
Okay, quick,
I can
quick,
have
yeah,
quick one, quick one.
yeah,
goats.
I just want to ask a quick one there.
yeah.
What is a successful season for United? And if yeah, let's say what's a successful season for United? And if this successful
14th.
season had to go on for 3 years,
Mm.
is it good enough for your boy to stay? What I mean
You-
is, if you guys won the Carabao Cup for 3 seasons in a row but finished 10th,
No.
is that
Nah,
successful season
ah,
for
So
them
the
to
so
bar,
stay?
so
the
so
bar
How
is
odds
long do
low.
you
for
give
The
them?
bar,
me for
hold on,
me
mm.
for
the
me
bar is very low. That right now, um, 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 uh,
Amarin.
Man United fans will jizz all over themselves just to get the Carabao Cup. Like
There's the child
literally.
there.
Like we did,
It's
like we
and
did.
you can't
Yeah,
be
can you
using words
behave
like
yourself?
that.
Okay.
Are
So
No,
so
he
you
so
knows.
so
He knows where he
Sinclair,
comes from. Yeah.
So, Ox, to give you an answer, I would take Europa with a cup run or a FA Cup as an example.
Right
That to
now,
me would be
you
a
take the energy drink cup, like literally, and
100%.
you thank you,
Let
And
me
and then
and
paint
the
a
and
real
say
picture.
and
so.
I would take.
Odds, the bar is low, so don't ask them that.
Oh, does Palmer
Yeah.
make Chelsea a better side?
Fuck off.
Yeah, Ninja, what's wrong with this guy?
Like, it's such a simple question, yeah. It's
Okay,
like,
and then
Your
like,
options in
like, like,
Gobani are yes or no.
Oh no.
Yeah, fuck off.
Guys, let me paint
I'm
a
gonna be
picture.
like the
right.
Let me paint a picture, right? So, Odds, I'm piggybacking of your question, right? If
Mm,
United finish 10th and win the Carabao Cup this season, I think it's a
mm,
success. If
mhm,
after doing that this season, they then finish 10th and win the Carabao Cup, that's a failure, right? This season, if they do it, it's a success because of where they were last season.
mhm,
But if they finish
mhm,
10th and win the Carabao Cup, the next season they need to progress. They need to get into at least Europa League. And then because they've won the Carabao Cup,
mhm,
I think that qualifies you again for the Europa League. Try to maybe even win that or get to the final or be competitive in that, but progress in your league standing. And then
Yeah.
after that
mhm.
season, then you want Champions League and then you want to be competing for the league,
Right.
right?
So
That's
Mhm.
you have to
But
go step by
Amarin
step.
has to stay.
so
But
so this is
my point
recent.
is, well, my
But
question
This
is,
is
Amarin
if
has to stay for how
if
many
he
years? How many years is Amarin
three
staying?
years. 3 years.
remember,
And this is recent.
well,
This
three
is
Not
this is
more
his
3 years.
first.
years,
No, no, yeah.
three more
So this
years,
is
and I'll take you back to Klopp, right? Because when Klopp took over, we were eighth, and then in his his first like half season, we lost the League Cup final and we lost the Europa League final. But the next season, he got us into Champions League, and then the season after
But
that, we got to the Champions League final. We still hadn't won anything yet. We got to the
fam,
Champions League final. Then the next season, we challenged for the league and finished second,
mm,
but we won the Champions League, right?
but
Now,
yeah,
Amarim is not on the level of Klopp,
he's
so he
nowhere
might need a little
near.
bit. He might need a little
Nowhere
bit longer.
near.
But if
yeah,
you think he's the man and you see progress,
back in
you
Portuguese.
can't sack him for finishing 10th and winning the League Cup. But
What?
you
But
can
Shiva,
sack him. You can sack him if he finishes 10th, wins the League Cup, and next season again he's finishing 10th. Then you can
he's
sack
gone.
him.
He's gone. He's
you know
gone.
what?
He's gone. End of November.
Me too. Sihle
You
in,
see,
and
the
as
thing
well,
is,
I also don't think. I
there's
also
no
don't wait.
solution. It's not solution based.
There is solutions, bro. Amarim was selected by our CEO, who needs to be given a written warning because it's him who messed up by,
Guys,
by by selecting him. Wait,
I heard
Shiva.
someone today say that what's his name, Eric Ten Hag was the Jacob Zuma of Man United
Nah,
because all he did was chow the money.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, but
But
okay, guys. As mentioned, Omar Porada is the one who selected thingy
Amarin,
homeboy. It's not Wilcox. And Wilcox, judging from a guy who comes from Man City, a serious club, a club that is 10 years ahead of us, and I look at how the sort of ballers that Wilcox used to work with, they are the total polar opposites to what this manager prefers using. So
yeah.
hence I'm with CK in
mm,
that homeboy is not going to survive. I'm just being honest here. I don't think he's
But
going to survive.
the weird thing
And
that I'm
then
seeing is that
Wilcox
you're not.
Wilcox will have to be the one who selects the manager because he's the director of football. And I feel like whoever he selects is going to be the one who will stabilize the ship. That's just my
If Emran
opinion.
is clever enough and he can read the room,
Mm.
he can see that the signings that have come in are not his
They're not for
signings.
his. Thank
mm.
you. Hey, I can see
If
that,
he's
dog.
able, if he can read the room, he can see that nah,
They're
there's
not,
there's an
bro.
agenda here, and
They're
unfortunately,
Would you
different to
take
corporate
what he
England.
Glasner at
has.
United X?
I
Would you
would,
take Glasner?
bro. I did
Would you
say it,
take
guys.
Frank at United?
Same here. I'll take
The
Frank.
problem is,
Yeah,
they're gonna take
yeah.
Frank and give him 3 years. Apparently, there's still Mourinho players there. The reason why I was asking this
Nah, but
question
those players are
is
going next
because
season. Next season, everyone will be gone, bro.
y-
By next season,
yes, but the reason
yeah, dude.
3 of your
Yeah.
4
my
bomb squad
question
players
is,
are still there, X. You can't say next season
Yeah, they're
everyone is
gone.
going to be
Sancho's
gone.
contract is done. thingy, Casemiro's contract is done. Who else is left now? I
And
think
Ganacho,
Shaw as
Anthony.
well.
No.
Ganacho.
Sancho. No,
Ganacho's
no.
going to
Sancho is
thingy
not on.
Chelsea, bro. Ganacho's going to Chelsea, bro. So
But my,
that
Nah,
but,
but
is,
Sancho,
but my
you still have
question
the
is,
Sancho problem.
guys,
Sancho is taking a what is it
but
called
he's
when
gone
kids?
after the end of the season, dog. He's playing with the under 12s right now, or what? Under 18s or 21s. I forgot. But like the homie
but
is
my
gone because
question is,
the issue at hand, odds, is that we gave we were meant to give death row contracts like Chelsea.
Mm,
Chelsea was a team that gave death row contracts to their players, but we out here giving Oprah Winfrey contracts. You get 300K, you get 300K. You
mm,
see that culture is now gone with the new
mm,
management since Wilcox and Borada are in.
mhm.
That is gone. So now we are clearing, and at the same time, the players who we are signing, like even Homeboy, the one we hijacked from you, man. What's his name? Sesko.
Sesko.
Sesko's on like 150, I
mm,
think, if I'm not
Mm,
mistaken.
Mm.
And apparently you guys offered him
mm,
three, and he still turned you guys down, which is crazy. But anyway,
yeah.
I digress. But like it's that now. We are ensuring that our players aren't earning a lot, so it's easy for us to get rid of them. You see, right now,
Mm,
Sancho is like, hey, bro, I'm on
mm,
350. I don't think I'll ever
mm.
get this 350. I
Yeah.
mean,
So
at home, this your 350 a week nj is
mm,
life changing for a guy who comes from the ends.
I'm not. I'm
So
not.
he's
I'm not
gonna
a
stay
betting
on it.
man. I'm not a
Yeah,
betting man, but I'm willing to put like my last dime, rand, whatever in
yeah,
this economy and say Holmes is gone by end of November.
yeah.
who's
so
this?
so why
Amarin.
why I'm asking this question, and I think it's very defeatist because the last few managers of United have been given purse strings, and then you've been sacked just after. So for me, you
There's
got to
now
back
structure.
Amarin for a few years. You have to back
Nah,
Amarin for a few years.
as
So
fully.
Eddie
Odds,
Howe has
odds,
been
odds.
back for
What
so
many
so
happened?
years.
What happened?
so
It
In,
depends
what's
on the
happening?
progress he
Arteta's
made.
been
What
back for
what's
many
what's
years.
happening in
So
this
yeah,
window?
odds is
Odds.
like
Hey,
now
no,
we
no. I'm
gotta
If
asking from
they're
the
yeah,
playing,
standpoint,
yeah.
what
if
is success?
So
they're
odds.
playing better than they were last season and the team looks more like a team and they're picking up results, then you don't sack him.
then
But
hundred
if
Yes.
they're
percent.
playing like how they played last season and they're only getting results against the big team and they're
Mm-hmm.
15th with the negative goal difference come the end of November, then he needs
Yes.
to go.
He needs
But
to,
but
dog.
but Shiva, I can tell you one thing. Amarin's gonna stay as long as we don't know if Cole Palmer makes Chelsea a better team.
I think let's
You
call
guys, you
it.
don't
Let's
want to
call
let
it.
this. Oh, yeah, let's call it, guys. Hey, yeah, no, guys. Thank you
So he might
so.
be there for a while.
Yeah, but anyway, guys,
Uh,
thank you so much for availing
Word of the
yourselves as
day:
per
does Cole
usual.
Palmer make Chelsea a better side? Yes or no?
That's a title
And you
for the
still have
next
not said yes
episode,
or
X.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, guys, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Help a brother out. This is Easy Sport, and we out. Peace.
he- he-
Peace.